Mother and daughter estrangement. This is also useful if you have issues with confrontation or you shy from it. Part 2. The first video I spoke about feisty mothers and feisty people. Here I'll speak a bit more to the accommodating, empathic, patient mothers who have daughters who act out a lot. And what I mean by that is they can be the opposite of you. Bolshy, bullying, angry, outwardly, they're hurting like you. However, if you're interested in shifting things from your side rather than just giving her space, what you could do to honour you is to have a look at very lovingly where you offer too much, where you facilitate too much, where you may have raised through your own avoidance of yourself and what's important, not respecting yourself fully because you haven't learned to do that. It would have been rough in your history. Where you may have raised in part entitled daughters or children. What I mean by that is they think they can have it all their way because essentially, well, not essentially, because you've given them a green light to be all about them. And therefore they don't respect you because you don't have boundaries in the right places. This is not one-sided. I'm speaking to your side because I'd like you to have a happy, healthy life where you take care of you, because it won't just be with your daughter, it will be in other places too, where you undermine yourself. There's something that you want, however you're being too nice somewhere, or you're on a journey to balance things so that you can show up as a more solid, whole version of you. It's the greatest compliment we can give somebody else is if we start to learn self-mastery. And this is where often the issue with mothers and daughters and estrangement generally has gone through the roof for many reasons. One is because this passes down through the generations, our behaviour, where we're too passive or too something. And it gets to stop with us when there's a trend, because you have the courage to face off with it. So you can ask yourself, where may I have given green lights when they should have been amber or red? This is not your fault, it's our culture. And what happens a lot, which is partly why there's so much estrangement, is we have tips and hacks and so on about boundaries, and they don't go deep enough in terms of navigating how to move forward long term. So oftentimes people, I'm setting a boundary, and then that often involves ghosting and reactivity and hurting the other person because we're so stacked and triggered across time that it comes out in a very unhealthy, hurtful way. So whilst you have been, and you may be getting on with life and good for you, you may have been desperately hurt. Either way, she's hurting and you're hurting, Mum. What you get to do is ask yourself where you may have facilitated her behaviour. And what you get to do now to put yourself at the top of your list, not the bottom, or after others. There may be a lot of things that you would like for you, and you get to have it. Because this is the afternoon of our life. Wayne Dyer talks about this. First part, we did the best we could do. You did with what you got. The second part, you get to be more free. So while she gets to do her and use this time to heal or blame, what you can do is look at where is there a trend where you put yourself last and people take advantage. I'm not sure if I said my name is Poppy. I'm a psychotherapist, psychologist, coach, 30 years practice. And I practice on my own independently because I speak like this, speak truthfully for freedom, and that can intimidate some people. However, I can't share with you from a real place about real self-mastery change if I'm a dulled down version of me. And some organisations like to do that to us, and that doesn't get to happen in my world. So I send you enormous love. Please be gentle. Let's get away from shame. I'm bad. We're not bad. We're uneducated for the most part. And it's only through you taking care of you that we can learn to take care of others appropriately. Let's get away from, if they change, I'll be fine. There's always a lesson and a blessing and a lesson when there's disconnect between us. And to be very clear, stress causes suppression of immunity. So whilst this might be, I don't want to deal with it, I suggest you do deal with it, because it will come out somewhere, your pain, your anger, your grief. And you get to be happy and healthy. And if you do you, and you take care of you, she's more likely at some point when she's finished tantruming to reach out to you, because you're now more attractive energetically. You're not giving and overdoing it. She gets to take up some of the slack and come and meet you. I send love. If this is interesting to you, helpful, follow for more. And please comment in the chat. This is an extraordinary pandemic, estrangement, because we ghost people rather than deal with things. Or we avoid, dismiss, rationalise, intellectualise, avoid. Avoid. How's that working for you? Said my supervisor to me once. If it's not working for you, we get to find another way. And it's very likely you will come back together, the two of you. Send in love.